Hello, Dragon Tank 1400 here, and this is Why I Love RWBY, Yang's character arc. Now, I really don't like Yang's character, at least I didn't back in like volume 1 through 3. However, her character arc, how they made this, in my opinion, an actual kind of bad character into a good character, I personally really do enjoy. Now, to give you kind of an overview of Yang's character arc, it kind of starts off with Yang losing her arm at the end of volume 3, and she goes into a depression. Then she gets out of that depression, and then she actually has to learn a lesson about not taking everything head on and actually thinking about the best way to actually defeat an opponent, which her dad actually like demonstrates to her that you can actually simply go around instead of taking everything head on. She ends up learning this at the end of volume 5, where she faces her mother and realizes that she doesn't have to fight her mother. She would lose anyway. That being aside, she didn't have to fight her mother. She just had to convince her to allow Yang to take the Relic of Knowledge. Basically what Yang learns here is that she doesn't have to take everything head on. She can actually go work around her problems. You have a character who actually that was her major fault. Well, one of her major faults. She has other ones that I might discuss in future videos. With that being aside, one of her major faults is that she just took everything head on, and she would try to power through her like problems or her enemies, which is why she lost against Neo in volume 2 and why she lost against Adam in volume 3 and lost her arm. Now, I really like kind of how they go about this, because they take Yang and she gets beaten really badly by Adam. She gets one-shotted, she loses her arm, and she goes into this like depression. And that's when I actually really start to actually like Yang's character, because she's actually more relatable at this point, instead of this character who seems to be like good at everything and doesn't really have like a care in the world, if you will. That's not completely true, but that's what it seems like, especially like in volume 1. And then at the end of volume 3, well, in volume 4, she's in this pretty much depression, and it has her father, Tai Yang, to actually help her get out of this depression and actually go and seek out RWBY in volume, at the end of volume 4, beginning of volume 5. And during this period of time when she's actually looking for RWBY, she actually confronts her mother, which is like a big plot point for her. Like overall, she actually confronts Raven, and Raven's actually Yang's main antagonist, but it's not an antagonist as you would normally think, where the protagonist actually faces the antagonist in a battle. No, that's not the case. That's not how this ends. And this is what one thing I really like about it, is that Yang learns from like her past mistakes, and she learns that she knows she can't defeat her mother, so she actually realizes that her mother has a weakness, and that's her fear of Salem, and she uses this to make her mother realize that if Raven gets the relic, then Salem will go after her in full force, that it would be better for her mother that she takes it. Now, this actually ends with Raven and Yang actually crying at the end, and kind of the reason they cry, from it's kind of heavily implied that Yang's crying because she realizes that her own mother actually loves herself more than she loves her daughter, and Raven's crying because, well, I gotta think more on that exactly, but I think it has to do with like the same thing, that she does love her daughter, but she loves herself more, and that's kind of what's happening in that moment, if you will, that whole scene. Also, it should be noted that I really do like Yang and Raven's interactions throughout all of volume 5, including like especially their final scene together, where Yang confronts her mother, and it's as I said, she actually beats her, but not like beats her in a fight. It was actually really compelling and really good. To sum all this up, why I kind of like Yang's character arc is because it took a character that I really did not like at all. In fact, she was one of my least favorite characters between volume 1 and 3. Well, towards the end of 3, I kind of liked her a little bit. and they made her into a character I actually really enjoy in Volume 4, with her whole depression arc, if you will, and her getting over that, and then in volume leading on, actually being kind of the backbone for Volume 5, where she actually learns that there's other ways to solve her problem and just facing it head on, that sometimes she needs to actually come up with different solutions to actually overcome things. So it took this character I didn't like and made it into a character I actually do like a lot, and it's probably now one of my top 10 favorite RWBY characters. I don't think she quite makes it into the top 5, but she definitely makes it into the top 10 now. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you in the next one. Bye.